Hey y'all, today we are diving into a topic that we don't really talk about that often, and that's the world of UGC and influencer marketing. And I don't just mean regular human influencers and creators, I'm talking pet influencers. So in this episode of Humans of Growth, I sit down with Colleen, the founder over at Pets on Q, to talk about what brands get wrong and right when it comes to hiring pet influencers, animal talent, and UGC creators. We get into why follower count isn't enough, what brands should evaluate before paying pet influencers, and how demographics, usage rights, platform choice, and the creator behind the pet can actually shape campaign success. This is a conversation all about influencer strategy, audience trust, brand awareness, creator partnerships, and what it actually takes to make a marketing campaign work in the pet space. So even if you aren't in this pet space, this conversation is still going to apply to you. So let's dive in. Colleen, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
So Colleen, I introduced a little of the professional side of you, but in a sentence or two, who are you as a human? What is bringing you joy right now?
So many things bring me joy. I actually just adopted a new dog, and he has gone through a health journey. And I just saw this puppy, and he had a fractured paw in the shelter, and he looks just like my other dog. And I was like, that's a 12-week-old Great Dane in the shelter. And he had a fractured paw and like a broken hip in the back. And I like to collect dogs.
Okay.
I'm not a hoarder, I swear, but I just like, there's some that just like scream at you that they're like, you need to have this. So yeah, he's come a long way, and he's doing really well. And he's big. Like, he's a big boy. So that's what's bringing me joy right now. Yeah.
Are all the bones repaired or recovering, or where's that?
Yeah, he had surgery. So his front paw fracture is good. His back leg we're still working on it, but he had no muscle in his hip, from his hip down to his leg. He had no muscle. He was like malnourished, beaten, like bad. And he's like the sweetest dog. But his muscles have started to grow back, and he's almost 7 months now. So his muscle on the one side is still less than the other side, but it's growing because he favors the other side. But I'm forcing him to use it. But yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I love it. How many dogs are you up to right now?
Oh, just two. Just two.
Like, but you made it.
I usually will foster and send that, but this one I'm like, done. And I'm definitely getting another one.
Okay, you made it sound like you may have had 6 dogs, and I'm like, how many dogs do you? No, okay, 2 is fine.
No, I definitely did, but I would say I am really allergic to certain animals. So my husband's not like a massive animal fan, which I don't know what I was thinking with that one. But yeah, and we have a lot of like animal allergies in my house, so I have to be very careful.
Yeah. Oh, that's so hard with everything that you do with work as well. Like, there's a lot of overlap. Because, I mean, you're also a dog influencer as well.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Kind of,
the pet space influencer, yeah.
You have 20,000 followers.
Yeah.
Your dog has you don't have the following, your dog has the following.
Well, I do too, but my dog he's far more than me. My Dalmatian, yeah, he's deaf too. So I have a deaf dog and like a dog with a broken hip. It's fine. Yeah, he has more followers than me, and he makes money, and he's happy.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So speaking of animal influencers, you operate in a very unique niche that very few agencies, people, brands operate in. So all things animal talent, pet influencers, creators, animal actors. How in the world did you get into this space?
I fell face first, like hard. That's how it started. And I was working in finance in New York City to like start it. And I had adopted this deaf puppy. Trained him because he was like a lunatic. He's a Dalmatian. Like, he's one of the most difficult breeds to own. If anyone has ever trained or worked Dalmatians, I had one like totally a lunatic. He had multiple homes before me. Anywho, figured out he was deaf, went through a lot of training with him, and people wanted me to train their own pets. And I was like, guys, I work in finance. Like, this is not my job. But I was good at it. So kind of fell into, my dog started booking animal actor work, because he's a very pretty Dalmatian, and we started making a lot of progress and changing kind of the industry a little bit with how I was treating and how I was communicating with him. And it was like people just wanted to work with us more. So animal actors is really how I got into it because I love training and I love working different animals. And I've worked horses to snakes to rats, like cats. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And influencers kind of started taking off around the same time that my company got started. People wanted me to have their animals do it, and it kind of started as a fun side project. Then I noticed in the industry that brands were hiring talent but not paying them. They would just send them food and be like, yeah, post my food a few times. And I was like, this is a marketing area.
Right.
And this was like 10 plus years ago. This was all pre-Grumpy Cat. And I was like, oh,
wow,
this
okay.
is yeah, like, so we've been around for quite a long time. We're one of the oldest agency in the pet space. Yeah.
Okay.
So we started recognizing that, we as an I started recognizing that influencers and pet influencers were an actual thing and brands would pay to hire them, work with them. So there are a few people who found out about what I was doing and wanted help. And I just started it as a side business to help people. And it just grew and grew and grew until it is what it is today, which is over 10 years later. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, I want to go back to something you said. So you've also, are snakes trainable?
You can manipulate snakes' behavior with knowledge and experience and with the right snakes, yes.
Okay, I mean, I've worked in the dog training industry for a couple of years. I don't do snakes, so that's fascinating. Okay.
I work with really good reptile people. I've only worked on set with a few snakes, and it's quite fascinating how you work them. Heating pads are used, having a hiding place that they recognize are used to get them to move to a certain location. Food is not used as much as you would use it with other animals because you don't want them to bite an actor. You don't want them to bite something else. So you typically are working with them a little differently, and there's a lot of like temperature to make sure that they're good. And yeah, there's quite a lot of criteria to make sure like it's ethical too, because they can't verbally and like you can't. It's harder to read their behavioral language than it is a dog.
That is so fascinating. Okay, I've learned a lot already in the first 7 minutes. Love that. So when it comes to brands working with pet influencers and animal talent, what were you seeing 10 years ago kind of as the default line of expectation?
Oh God, it was such a different industry. It was a pay to play, one post. There were no like long-term partnerships at that time. Like licensing wasn't really a thing, like with what Grumpy Cat had done. It was a one post, photo, video, and like that. That's kind of how it started. And it was all on Instagram for the longest time. All Instagram. Yeah.
So what do brands typically nowadays misunderstand about working with pet influencers or animal talent?
Their value, and I don't mean that in the way that people will expect. They don't understand their audience and demographics. I think that that's an area that a lot of people mess up on both sides, on the talent side and on the brand side, where they just don't understand. And I mean this in a nice way, that like a brand will come in and be like, I want to hire a cat that has 1 million followers. And you don't realize that 2 cats with 1 million followers are very different accounts. One of them, their entire audience is in Bangladesh. The other one pays for followers, where actually it's better for them to hire the 500,000 cat account that's authentic and a US audience and has higher engagement and has higher, so there are things that the brand doesn't understand and things that creators don't understand as well, where like, again, 2 accounts with 1 million followers are charging very differently. And a human account with 1 million followers is a different price point than a pet account with 1 million followers. We have different analytics, we have different criteria, it's just a little bit different because our conversion rate in the pet industry is lower. It's like 67% lower than a human influencer. And that converts over to rates. And people don't realize that. Not everyone But overall, yeah.
Okay, tell me more about that of like of conversion rates, analytics, demographic insights. Tell me more about that because that's I don't know. I'm more drawn to like I like dogs more than I like people. So it's kind of
Yeah.
surprising that the you would say that the conversion rate is 60+% lower. Tell me more about
Yeah.
that.
When you're looking at a social media account and it is a human and dog, let's say they're both promoting like a Purina or
Yep.
pack provisions or like a dog food, right? And you have a dog that's going on a hike and posting like, I tried this new pack provisions dog food. And then on the other side, you have this just the dog telling you to try it out versus a person telling you, I switched over to this food because of XYZ reason. And like you follow not just the dog, you follow the person too. And you're more likely
Yep.
to trust that person and make a purchase over just a dog saying it.
That's
So
fair.
just like a little, right. Okay. When you're buying something, you're buying it from the people. You're getting
Right.
brand awareness and recognition from the pet account, but the actual conversion of when it happens is typically from that.
So
Not
you're
all the time.
so
It's just a little bit less.
so essentially the pet itself is more top of funnel brand awareness compared to hiring the human influencer, which is more bottom of the funnel to
Sometimes,
some degree ish.
to some degree,
Okay.
it's very similar. It's just like it's a little bit of a lower percentage.
Okay. I
Nothing
love it.
crazy.
So on the other side of the spectrum, you have pet owners, creators who have dogs, animals, pets, reptiles, you name it, that they love, built up a following. What do they tend to misunderstand about getting their animal booked or paid work?
Oh God, how long do you have in this?
We have plenty. You have plenty of. You got 30 minutes, ish. You
Yeah,
got plenty of
30
time.
minutes. No, I think it depends on the account. I mean, I get emails every day saying, I can't walk down the street because everyone thinks my dog is so cute. So I get like from both sides, the animal actors and the influencers. And it's great to get going, but a lot of people, I think, don't realize that sometimes the animals don't love doing what they're doing. If they don't love doing what they're doing, it shows up. You can see it, and eventually it's going to be bad news. So we tend to like make sure in the photos or videos that the animals like look like they're happy. I would say first,
Yep.
because it shouldn't feel like a job for them. They should be your pet first and foremost, and I think that's the biggest misinterpretation, that you're like, you want to be pimping out your animal, making all this food, but like brands don't want to work with people that the animals don't look like they're having a good time. I get that all the time from brands when they're looking at accounts. They're like, either their content creation isn't good enough, or the dog just doesn't look happy doing this, and I want to work with someone who's happy. So I feel like that's a massive misconception that people don't recognize. I think the analytical side as well, kind of the same thing that people don't recognize. They will go on ChatGPT and say, I have, 10,000 followers and I have this engagement rate. What should I be pricing out at? And, while those things are great, your US audience base is at 20% and the brand is a US audience account, and they want it to go out to a US audience. So they're not going to pay for your audience in Canada. They're not going to pay for your audience in other places anymore. People don't recognize that. And that's a really big part when I go to someone and say, your value is not at $4,000. It's really at 600. Like so I have to be the bearer of bad news quite a bit, and like be the middle person of like, these are the numbers. Here's where we're at.
Hey guys, real quick, this episode is sponsored by Parison Network. Parison Network is a matchmaking service that connects businesses to marketing agencies that will actually get you results. There's over 50,000 agencies in the United States alone, and picking the right one can feel, well, pretty impossible. Parison Network simplifies the entire process by doing all of the vetting for you. From the initial agency search to interviewing and vetting the top marketing agencies to getting proposals and helping you with the discovery call, Parison Network does it all. This way, you end up partnering with a marketing agency that actually delivers outcomes, not empty promises. If you're ready to stop wasting money on marketing that just doesn't work, visit ParisonNetwork.com and get your free agency search started today. That's ParisonNetwork.com, PERISSON Network.com.
And like vice versa, same goes to the brand as well. Like I can go to a brand and say, you're undercharging this creator. We need to bump up the rate because their engagement is too high and, you know, those kind of things. Yeah.
So what should a dog influencer account with 10,000 followers all in the US, what does that fee structure look like?
Depends on the platform that they're marketing it. Depends on, it's like, so if I take each, like starting just basic, each platform, YouTube charges more than TikTok, charges less than Instagram, charges more than, Pinterest. So there's so many different social platforms out there. So let's say equally someone has 10,000 across each one. They're going to make more with 10,000 followers on Facebook and YouTube than they are on the other platforms.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say their engagement and everything is the same across each one. So just when it comes down to the platform, number one. Then when it comes down to the type of post they're doing, photo is worth less than a video. Is worth more than a stories. Or, so also the platforms have various things that you can do. Then you go down to exclusivity, usage rights, other things that would go into the contract. How do they want to use this as an ad spend? Are they whitelisting on the account? We kind of go through the different steps and like the different prices for each one. And it changes all the time because their followers change all the time. So it makes it really complex that we have to do this math over and over and over again. And someone's like, well, I thought my rate was 4,000. I'm like, well, you went massively viral. So we get to bump up that rate now. Congratulations for a little bit until your numbers even out a bit more. Because usually when they're going viral, they continue that trend and the brand's getting a lot from it as well. So not to say that going viral is really does that often. It doesn't, but it's a great thing.
Awesome. So a bunch of different criteria that you're looking at. And this is just me because I don't do influencer marketing. What do those, if it was like an Instagram post and a TikTok post, what do those numbers tend to look like compared to humans? And
it's
does not mean
60 to 70% less. It's nothing, it's nothing crazy. It's 67% less, but 60-70% of that. So let's say it's $1,000 for a human. What am I saying? I'm saying the wrong thing. It's $1,000 for a human account. It could be between $650 to $700 for a pet account. Okay,
cool. Yeah, I just don't know how. Influencer marketing is the one thing that I don't do, so I don't know what the dollar amounts even.
It's nothing crazy. I'd say the best thing that people would focus on is focus on your engagement, focus on the quality of content that they can do, and improve that. And that's when brands are going to hire you. More so, we get a lot more brands looking for human accounts now because they know it converts better. And the actual thought leaders of the industry. I think that's where it's changed the most recently.
Okay, so essentially switching from dogs to more vets or to the trainers trainers?
Trainers, veterinarians, groomers, those are kind of the top three right now. People in the veterinary space, professional trainers, people that working animals. I have a brand right now looking for just working animal houses, that really focus on what goes into their pet's body because they focus on what goes into their body, what goes into their pet's body, and can explain that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I love it. I'm sitting here thinking of all my dog trainer friends who are wanting to become influencers as we're talking.
Yeah.
They're not, they are very.
Influencers is changing because it's also a lot of brands look for UGC creators, trainers in the space. So right now, for your friends, I'm looking for potential trainers that they do a lot of hiking, camping, fishing with their pets.
Okay.
That vibe is what I'm looking for UGC creators. So they don't need to have a following. Okay. And all I need is content to go on the brand social media page. But the brand doesn't want to shoot all the content, and they're looking for people that like to go hiking with their pet, that like to do this, that like to do that. So we can get content like that.
Okay, cool. This is all fascinating for me because I've been in marketing, I've been in dog training. I don't get to talk to somebody who understands both worlds very often.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm the one. Yeah.
You're the person I go talk to all day. I'm sitting here. It's like, okay, how are we going to make my dog famous and her start earning her keep now? But she's getting old. Hold on. So one of the things that I hear a lot within the human influencer space and UGC is with the rise of AI, a lot of UGC creators are afraid they're going to be replaced. And you see the rise of AI influencers. What are you seeing now in this world?
I'm not seeing that as much because pets and AI are much harder to do. I have been approached by like the AI podcasting, talking dog type accounts. And I have no brands that want to hire them. So it's not really, it's something that will come around, and I know a lot of people are very fearful of it. And like, I have in contracts that brands are like, absolutely no AI. Like they're afraid of it. So they're steering clear of it just for the controversy stance of it. And a lot of brands are fairly conservative when it comes to that. So if some people are concerned about it, I wouldn't be concerned about it. Right.
Yeah, and that's the one thing is like it's relatively easy for me to go create an AI twin of myself. Like there's been enough research that's gone into AI for that. But then you think of like for pets and animals, you would have to do the same amount of research and AI like scoping for each individual brand and every crossbreed and every mutt. And I don't think that has the potential to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, and if you've seen some of the AI variations, the hair, they don't get 100% accurate. And some of their body language is really hard, especially the darker dog breeds and the longer haired dog breeds. So it's just something that like, it will come around. Like we're preparing for it.
Okay.
It's not something that's our, what's like the best word to say? It's not like something we're so focused on that it's our North Star. Like it's not. We're aware. Okay. But I think it would more so affect the human industry because of the bulk that they're doing, especially like the beauty industry. And, but even then I feel like the consumers recognize AI, at least a lot of consumers, not all. And
we're starting
I think it's something that the younger generation does not want to support.
Okay.
But I also love AI. So it's really helpful in certain areas. And it's like this love-hate thing. But on the pet side, I wouldn't be concerned that it's going to take people's jobs because people are still very focused on dog trainers. And that's kind of hard to pull off training a Rottweiler when you're only for a YouTube video with AI. Because there's so much context that's missed in body language and whatnot that's like very specific to trainers.
Yep, and that's the thing is like having been from the training world, there's so much nuance that I don't think AI could ever. I think we're 5 years away before AI could capture that level of nuance.
Yeah, for sure.
At least it's coming, but I think it's going to come when the way like I think technology is going to work is like we're getting to the top of the crest of the AI wave pretty quickly. Of like. It's more and more and more, but people are starting to recognize it and like it less and less and less. And once we crest, then we go back to like humans writing copy compared to AI. And I think we'll be on the downside of that AI crest by the time the AI gets sophisticated enough to create duplicates of animals that look realistic.
Yeah, like now when someone emails you and it's from ChatGPT. Like it's so easy to pick it up. So easy now. Like it's throw in another M dash. Great job.
As a copywriter, that kills me a little bit that they've killed on the M dash, but
I know, I know. I have
it's
someone
the,
on my team that used to do M dashes all the time, and they're so angry about it.
yep, it's like, okay, no M dashes and no, it's not this, it's this. And I'm like, that was a copywriting framework that worked for 15 years. But okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my last question for you, what's the question that I haven't asked you yet? What's the answer to that question?
That's such a good. Oh, is it the future? I mean, for at least my company, I think there's a few different ways because we work with influencers and animal actors, right? Future for influencers is going to be more UGC based and relationship based, which is
Yep.
kind of good. I think overall for the industry, like I've seen it go this direction. I think building relationships is very, very smart and very important. With our tech, like we kind of made the Animalist, which is a marketplace for people to find and hire animal talent on their own. I do think agencies are going to die out as an agency owner because of AI. That I'm more concerned of than the other stuff, and it's definitely coming. So we built a marketplace for people to do it themselves because they use AI now anyway to figure out their prices. They don't need necessarily an agent, but they can ask AI to like act like my manager, and I got this email, and how would you respond? And
Great.
they're doing that. You know, AI doesn't have all the context of it. It doesn't know exactly, but it will get smarter. It will get better at it. I think it's going to go that way. So we built a marketplace for people to do it on their own and find brands and do it, and that's on the Animalist. On the animal actor side, we've seen, so my whole goal in starting my company was to make it safer and better for the animals themselves. The industry is not known for being nice to animals. Many animals died on film sets over, you know, the past 100 years, like many animals have. And, you know, different organizations have been put in place to help stop that. And what we've done also with like, we certify the animals before going on set, make sure they're confident enough to be on set, make sure they can handle stressful situations and all of that before going on set, like you would a therapy dog before going into a hospital and being a therapy animal.
Right.
We did that exact thing for the animal actor space, and it has improved the industry so much that producers, that once they hire a certified animal, they're always working with certified animals because they know the quality that they're getting. Because a lot of times people lie about the animals that will go on set and they don't know anything. They just force them on set, and it's just kind of like a bad thing to do, and then the animal stress and all that. So those are like my two different sides, and that's what I think the future is going to be.
I like that. No, I love it. What goes into a certification?
Oh, so many things. Temperament's number one, and then the different types of tricks and stuff that they know. We have like a whole list. It's like a 2-page list of the things we go through. So like their verbal cues. That's why it's called pets on cue, because animals on cue. And like on set, yeah. Their head control, like being able to, like if it's a bird, can you look left? Can you look right? Dogs, head down, head up. Can they speak on command? Can they growl on command? Marks, being able to go to and from a mark, but like a bird flying to a mark is different from a dog or a cat walking to a mark. A cat is most likely going to need to know jumping up and jumping down for marks, where a dog's going to need to know walk, run, slow walk to different marks, ABC marks, and a horse is going to need to know very different marks. So we kind of break it down per species, and yeah, like that's really cool. I love it.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, Colleen, thank you so much for coming on the show today. If people would like to connect with you further, what's the best way for them to find you?
Email. No, sorry, going to our social media, like so either Pets on Cue, PETSONQ, or The Animalist. Those are our kind of two platforms that you know, you can find us on social media and message us there, or you can email our team or go on our websites.
I love it. For everyone tuning in today, thank you so much for joining, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Humans of Growth.